What's up? I'm Drive Chef Cody.
I'm Drive Chef Drew, and this is Whiskey Customs, our 2020 Jeep Gladiator JT review and adventure.
Here we go. Enjoy the show.
Hell yeah, brother.
The Gladiator!
Nope, that's not working. I tried to climb on the back. Not really. It's nice. Got the puppy. Hey, Rose. Yeah. We're gonna put this all on a big YouTube video. 2020 Jeep Gladiator.
You want to get out for this one?
Nah. Are you worried about me or just for video?
For the video. We have a TJ behind us.
We do. We do have a TJ behind us. He's catching up to us as well. Gladiator's kind of slow compared to that Wrangler.
I have a fucking pregnant woman, so I'm not standing in the room.
He's also not very stock. This was heavy. This was hard for me to walk up. When I was trying to walk up to get the angle,
Yeah.
I was slipping. This thing did it like nothing. That's quite the tumble.
Lay down. Lay down.
So far, what do you think about the Jeep Gladiator?
Pretty good. I like it. Needs more lift.
It does. But hey,
Get a Rubicon.
we do need a Rubicon. Luckily, thanks. Big shout out to Budget for letting us use their 2020 Jeep Gladiator. This would make for a pretty damn good time lapse. Hey, I'm enjoying it. I got some nice suspension back here. Called my legs.
This trail's fucking pussy shit.
I wonder if I can zoom into that waterfall over there. Hell yeah. The waterfall. I was able to get a good shot of that waterfall. No, it just, I think I accidentally pressed the home button.
So it erased all that?
I don't believe so.
No, it's safe.
Y'all got any idea where this goes?
This is the end of it.
This is?
Yeah, you can go a little bit further on up.
Oh, so just the little cabin up here and that's it? Back down before we get stuck.
Yeah, Gladiator does not like the sand dunes. It smells hot.
I'm gonna stop while we are ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're running hot.
We were at Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're trying to get up the sand dune. This isn't even that bad. This was the back way of it. And we couldn't make it. The 2020 Jeep Gladiator with highway tires did not like the sand dunes. The stock Dodge over there, however, did make it up.
Watch this fucking GMC.
This stock GMC is just gonna scoot right up there, I bet.
Alright, I'm gonna check on the puppies.
Alright. That was a fun adventure. What do you think?
It was a lot of fun. I wish we could go back before winter hits, but I don't think we're gonna make it back.
We are totally performing this way after. Not even like days after. This has been a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple months. We just haven't had a whole lot of time. We've been tied up, just starting our business, so, it's kind of tough to take time. I mean, we don't even have enough time to get half of our projects done. But I'm going to stop talking about that, and we're going to start the review, the things we liked and disliked, our ratings, and kind of, if we were to buy one, stuff we would kind of recommend or do. So, let's start with your top 5 dislikes. We'll just go back and forth between each one.
Alright, so my top number 1 was the soft top. And I'm pretty sure yours was also that as well.
It is also the number 1 thing I hated.
Going on the highway, remember, this was a 20-hour drive from Texas to Colorado. It was
Houston, Texas, and we specifically went to Silverton, Durango area in Colorado.
that soft top was the loudest soft top I have ever witnessed.
We had your Miata at like 120 miles an hour, and the soft top was fine.
I had my Miata soft top fly up. It was still up. I didn't even hear it. It was behind me. I thought it was down, but it was still up. I didn't even hear it. But that 2020 Jeep Gladiator top is no joke on how loud it is.
It has a lot of wind buffering issues. The wind hits it wrong. I think somewhere in the middle of the soft top. I do believe that Jeep may take care of it. I don't know. Maybe it was specifically the Gladiator we rented. It seemed like the top was real loose. We shoved pillows. We shoved blankets. Anything we could to push the top up to make the top tighter. And that kind of, that helped a lot. But, it was kind of, that's a big issue when the radio, when you turn it up so loud and you still, full blast, max volume, and cannot hear the radio over the drone and the humming and the vibration, it's just not good.
My number 2 dislike was the legroom, or just and then the back seat cargo space in general.
Cargo space cuts into the legroom.
Exactly.
And there's not very much cargo space, so therefore why is it, really there? I feel like there's other places they could have put the cargo.
Yeah, I'm a 6'3", so back there on a 20-hour drive, I was shimming and moving all over trying to find a comfortable place for me to sit. And that long-hour drive was not the most comfortable drive I've ever had.
By the way, driving 4 states in one day, that's some good driving right there.
That was our personal best. But what was your number 2?
AC. It has very small AC vents going to the back.
That was another thing with the rear that I didn't like.
It does not keep it cool back there. And granted, this was a triple black Gladiator. I mean, black top, black paint, black seats, everything black. So that doesn't really help, but you know, the AC just didn't quite seem like it took a while. I mean, if you rolled the window down for 10 seconds and sucked all that cold air out, it took another 10 minutes to get it cool back inside. So what's yours?
As you saw in the last video, the last little clip where it got dark, we were on our way back from Colorado actually, where we passed by Albuquerque.
We were in Albuquerque and we saw a bunch of side-by-side sand rails, four-wheelers, other Jeeps
All
and
sorts of
trucks.
And we didn't even go up the big sand dune where like you see.
Well, we did try. And
we
didn't
did
make it
try,
very
but
far.
it didn't get on the video. We didn't make it very far. As you saw in the video, we went up the not so steep part, and you saw that axle just bouncing.
Yeah, it got axle wrap really bad, and we even aired down. I mean, we tried to do everything. We tried 4 high, 4 low, no traction control, traction control. I mean, there was just no. And it was on highway tires, but there were other vehicles like a Dodge Ram 1500 Hemi truck on highway tires just scooted right on up, no problems. Us on the other hand,
Sierra went up there too.
yeah, we were. We got such bad axle wrap out of it that we were actually concerned for the puppies we found in Arizona on the side of the highway for their well-being in the bed of the truck. So
I was sitting there, it was a ride for sure.
I mean, you can hear it in the video. You can hear the axle slapping the bump stops.
Oh yeah. What was yours? The next one.
My third would be the low-hanging fruit. It is a long wheelbase vehicle, which is kind of different from what you would expect out of a Wrangler. I didn't really have any issues. I think we hit the back bumper area once, and that was just because we had a real tight area. We couldn't drop down. The people that complain about that, I get it. I mean, it has got a terrible departure angle, but that's also a lot of driver skill, keeping it from hitting there. There wasn't a whole lot of choices when it happened with us, but the rear control arm brackets, they hang really low, and they're in a very bad spot for hanging up on rocks and stuff, especially when you think about rock crawling or trails, rocky trails. You're trying to place your tires up on those rocks, and when it's so low in front of the rear tire and you're trying to walk that tire up something and it just hangs up, it hit a lot, and that was kind of the main issue that I really think that they need to figure out a way to adjust how the control arms are set up.
I couldn't agree more with that.
That should probably bring you to your third about the long wheelbase that you didn't like.
Yes, that wheelbase was way too long for my liking, at least. It feels like I was in the center of a boat. Driving it through those tight turns felt super weird compared to these short base, these more normal rock crawling vehicles.
Short wheelbase. You said short base.
Short wheelbase. Because on a normal Jeep, you're automatically a little closer to the rear tires, and so I've driven them before. I've driven this before. They feel pretty similar.
Yeah.
I've even driven F-150s these types of trails, and I felt comfortable doing it. That vehicle just felt really odd, and I think it's just because I felt so in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's got a really long nose and a really long back end. Is where when you sit this YJ, you're sitting. I mean, you stick your arm out, you can touch these 42s from the back. So.
Yeah, you can touch those rear tires pretty easily.
I guess we'll move on. The auto start stop. Absolutely hate it. It's junk. They put it on a lot of new vehicles. I wish that Chrysler Fiat would have put a way to shut it off more permanently than having to push a button every time. It's a nuisance because sometimes you forget. And in fact, I do remember, and we did not discuss this, on that trail in the video, and it was not on video, but the trail we were on, it did its auto shut off while we were sitting waiting for somebody coming up the trail, and it's a very, when you're already in an uneasy situation where you're on the edge of a road, thousands of feet up in the mountains, it's not a very a good feeling to hear your vehicle shut off and start and stop, and I just don't like it. I wish that they would get a way to shut that thing off.
Yeah, it'd be a toggle switch for it off, not just a button.
Or go through the menu options, put it in the options on the menu.
They did have that nice fancy radio.
Yeah, and
Which-
even on the dash, remember the center cluster, you could go through all sorts of stuff.
Which we'll get to that in our likes about the vehicle. My one of my last dislikes was taking off the doors. I mean, for something like this, it was as simple as
Open, lift.
open and lift, and maybe one plug.
Yeah.
And even for this thing, doors are meant to be off, but I mean, I just cut the wires. But I mean, it was still, wires were not hard to relocate. And on that Jeep, it seemed like I had to take off a little panel. And
It
then
seemed
unhook
like
it,
it's never ending. It seems like you have to take more and more off just to take one thing
and then you
off.
got to keep track of that kind of stuff. And then that little plastic panel never went on the same way.
Nope.
So that's something I didn't like.
My last thing that I like, it's going to go into my likes, but it's also in my dislikes, would be the hill descent assist. I like it. It's cool that it has it. Yeah, you want to grab that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I like that it has it, but and one of the things we do really like about it is how quickly the slap shift in the automatic works. It's very, very on point. There's very little delay, and that plays a terrible factor when you're in low range and you're coming down a hill and you go from like third to second or first, and it shifts really quick and it literally throws you at the dashboard. I mean, it jerks, and you can get it dialed in, but I feel like it going into it a little bit easier, or even giving you a setting where you can kind of adjust how quickly it comes in. I feel like that'd be a big help.
Much better for comfort.
Yeah, I didn't like it because, I mean, it slaps you around, which is great when you're trying to get on the freeway and you're manually shifting.
Oh, yeah.
It goes. I mean, it shifts right when you want it to.
Alright, so we go to the things we liked about it.
Yep, I already covered my first like about it.
Yeah.
So,
I liked the gas mileage in particular. The we were getting 24, probably could have gotten
keep
25.
in mind, people. Keep in
Highway
mind.
tires, cruise control.
We
at
also
75.
drive stuff that gets like 8 miles to the gallon. So, what we got in that was wonderful.
It was wonderful for us. I was really worried about driving a Jeep 20 hours, was having to fill up every 10 miles.
Yeah.
And we only filled up maybe 5 times on that 20-hour trip. Maybe not even that.
No, I think going there we filled up
Twice?
3 times, twice maybe.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of stopping and seeing sites. We looked at a few properties and stuff like that. So,
What would be your number 2?
my number 2 is steering and ride. And this goes back to, we drive old junkers. So the steering on these really sucks. Just stuff gets worn out, steering boxes and stuff. So going into something new, I've heard a lot of people complain about the JL and the JT steering, and even the JKs and whatnot. For me, it's a solid front axle vehicle. It's gonna handle like that. What happens to one side happens to the other. It's not like an independent. It's not. Solid axles are not.
They're not made for comfort.
Yeah, they're not really made for comfort. And I feel like Jeep did a really good job of making it as comfortable as they possibly could with a solid axle. Very responsive steering. It rides really good, really smooth. It rides really good off-road as long as you're not going fast. It's still a stock Jeep, stock suspension. There's only so much travel, so what would be...
My next one was the sound system. I'm all about having some good-ass music while I'm cruising. And whenever that top wasn't making so much noise, we were jamming.
Yep.
And it sounded
We
great.
even were jamming trying to make the top noise drowned out.
Thanks to that good sound system, we kind of got a little bit less annoyed from it, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
I don't know how he slept through it sometimes. He passed out and it was humming away.
Yeah, I barely slept. But yeah, those sound system. It had 4 speakers. One.
Oh no, it's got like 10.
Yeah.
It's got a bunch of tweeters and microphones
And
everywhere.
none are in the door, so you
Yeah,
can take the
none are
doors
in the
off and
doors.
still have just as much bang for your buck.
Alright. Even though the soft top has some wind buffering issues, I really like how simple and user friendly it is. They need to work on those corners and the back window storage space and whatnot for those. It's not like you can fold those corners up hard plastic, so you can't just fold them up and tuck them away somewhere. They need to work on somewhere to put that, but I really 20-30 seconds and the top is down, 20-30 seconds top is back up, so I really like how simple the top is.
Yeah, that was pretty simple. I couldn't agree.
It's cool.
more with that.
I've never seen like hood struts on a top before. It has those.
Yeah,
if you
it did.
remember. So it's interesting seeing all this new technology go into weird places. So
Yeah. And then the heater. I'm a Texas boy. I don't like the cold.
I'm
That
from
heater, that thing,
Colorado, so
Up in the mountains was mighty great.
fucking mint.
Fucking mint. That's my number 3 on my most favorite things about it. If that heater don't work right, it's out the ballpark.
Yeah, that's like me here in Texas. If the AC don't work, I ain't fucking with it. All right.
Number 3 or 4, whatever. We're on.
It'd be my number 5 because I started with the hill assist.
Oh, I still got 2 more. Must have skipped me.
Oh well, fuck it. Center console arrangement, the cell phone holder,
Oh,
all that
yeah.
cool stuff. They got it down. It's not a very wide vehicle, and they gave plenty of room, leg room, and still put a lot of stuff in the center console. It's very well thought out. Chrysler's doing good there. They got other things to work on, but we ain't perfect, so.
Then my last 2, they are the brakes and the ABS and the traction control. All that stuff worked great on those rocks. If you needed to stop, you could stop like that. They had no locking up and sliding like this fucker does.
Even when we were lifting tires, it was still stopping
yeah.
like it's supposed to do.
It was immaculate on its stopping capabilities. And when you're on a mountain, when it's a 1,000 or more foot drop, you want to be able to stop when you need to stop. And then it goes to my last, those seats. I need to get myself some Rubicon seats.
Yep.
Because those seats, what's that, bolstering, whatever? Bolstering.
Yeah.
That was some mighty good stuff. It kept me there. I wasn't being jerked around a whole lot. And
Volvo seats are really good for bolstering too.
are they?
Yes.
But I like these seats. I didn't feel like I was too tall for the seats. A lot of these vehicles nowadays, if I get into a car, I feel like I'm way too tall for the seats.
Yep. What would you rate the Gladiator scale 1 to 10?
I'd have to give it a 7. I really enjoyed it.
I'd give it a 6, and that's just coming from price point and other things. We may be doing a Gladiator build. We'll
will
do.
be.
Yeah. We will. It's how
We need your help. but
Yeah,
we will.
we do need your help. We need Patreon support and all that stuff. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Little bell in the corner for notifications on our new videos. But we want to do a co-part build, and the reason for us is we put big axles, big tires, we do motor swaps, all sorts of stuff, and I don't feel like I should go buy a $40,000-$50,000 vehicle to rip it apart.
Yeah.
I'm broke. I don't. I think that's a massive waste of money. If we can take something that's already totaled and make it go back down the road and be cool, then I'm all for it. But I'm gonna give it a 6. Maybe if I had a Rubicon that I got to drive, I might have given it a 7 or an 8. But I think the price point for what you get's a little high. But that's for a lot of vehicles nowadays. I'm an older car guy. I like all the old tech. So That's what I'm
Alright.
used to.
Well, that's our conclusion on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator adventure and review.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yes, sir. Hope you enjoyed.